So obviously that's disgusting. We gotta get rid of that. But you have to water the concrete, which we didn't know. So here we are. Look at you, muscles. All right, so this is obviously our grass is still butchered, but we've cleaned up the area a little bit, so now we're having to haul this away, which we do recommend that if you hire concrete people, get you some that will take all the crap with them, because ours did not. So here we are. I've gotten this cleaned up. I have been watering this every day, so we're just trying to get everything cleaned back up before we start phase 2.
So what I'm doing here, I'm measuring the 6x6 where I'm going to actually cut the notch out so I can slide the 2x10. So I'm using a level to make sure the lines are straight, and then I use my skill saw again to just kind of trim it, make sure I got straight lines, then cut the sides. Sometimes you gotta be careful because the 6x6 do have knots, and your saw will get caught or will try to kick back. So once that's done, then I use my saw just to finish the parts that my skill saw couldn't finish. This whole process is mostly just take your time, don't rush it. Now I'm actually putting the 2x10. Once I screwed one of the 2x10s into the 6x6, then I can actually put the other one right next to it. And of course I did my cheaters, which again, it helped out a lot, especially for having a one-man job. They work perfect. So here I'm actually screwing the last few screws, and I'm cutting the 6x6 that are actually closer to the house. Since I had to get them close enough, I had to cut them shorter than the ones in the towards the yard, which made my life easier because I didn't have to do much to cut the notches out for the 2x10s. Now here Jen is helping me make sure that it's level so I can mark it to where the next notch is gonna go. I'm using my straight edge to make sure everything's okay. And again, I've measured both 2x10s, and it gives you, it's actually 3 inches. So make sure I did 3 inches and a quarter just to give myself a little gap. You say you always measure twice, cut once. So we put the first 2x10, make sure it's aligned, screw it in. Now I did use glue before I actually put them back together. So wood glue helps out a lot, especially with wood that's outside, because outdoor wood, even if it's treated, it likes to warp. So the more you can help from the wood splitting open or coming apart, it's the best you can do is just put glue and, you know, screw 1 or 2 more screws than usual. That one here is basically level with that one up there, okay? But
still gotta do the pitch. So the water will drain out. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like all the houses have pitch. You cannot put it straight. So how the rule goes, for every 5 feet, you do an inch. So since we got 14 feet, might as well do 3 inches. That's going to be where the other one goes. So, since we already got the pitch on this, now we got to make sure that this one and this one are straight. So now, once I put the end pieces, then we have our roof pitch, and we can start framing. So I'm gonna need your help in.
Okay. And he just put up these tarps to help because we live in Texas, y'all. It's hot,
Yeah, then it's dark enough.
and he's he's very dark brown.
Yeah, I want to burn.
I did put sunscreen on him.
They don't work.
Yeah, well, and he put up these tarps to try to save him a little bit. So,
Yeah, the sun drains you way too much.
yeah.
So, come on. The reason why I'm actually cutting out a gap on the board is because I think it's a lot sturdier and it will hold down the weight when you have something solid that your wood is sitting on, instead of having 2 pieces of wood this way with screws and bolts. At least this way you know for a fact the only way this is going to come down is this cracks all the way and then it comes off.
Okay, so give me the, what are you using?
I'm using 2x10s.
2 of them, right?
Yeah,
So this is 2x10s.
yeah.
Okay, and then what did you use for the?
These are 6x6.
Okay.
6x6 by 14 feet.
And then we buried them 2.5 feet deep
Yeah.
to the ground, put concrete, and then we had the actual patio port around it. Okay, and what are you using for the rest? So you do the 2x10s only on either end, right?
Yeah, it's all the main frame. So
Okay.
basically the main frame consists of your outer layer, okay, and your inner layer. So you have 2 here, you have 2 here, you're gonna have 2 here if you want to. You can do 1, 2 here, and then a single and a single. That's what that is.
So you're doing singles, right?
I'm doing singles in the middle, and I'm thinking about still putting 2 of them on each end. I don't know yet. I mean, this thing, it's not coming down. We're not putting a roof. We're not putting anything heavy on top. So I mean, to me, it will withhold a storm. That's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm putting 5 screws per piece of wood, and then I'm gonna go back and screw on both sides.
Okay. Yeah, so just in case y'all aren't aware, we live in Texas and we live about an hour from the Gulf, and we do get hurricanes. So
I have help.
he doesn't want help. Make
No,
sure
it's
you
not
say
that.
that. Yes, it is.
They're heavy, and for us to be able to have one person here and one person there, or somebody's in the middle, it's not gonna work. So I built myself some cheap helpers here. These here will actually help you.
Support the beam.
Yeah, support the beams and keep it from that piece of wood. Keep it from trying to flip down. So.
Yeah, wait, too much. There.
I used the 2x4 and I extend it out about 4 inches. And then put another 2x4 up, just kind of help me keep the 2x10 from flipping. So that's gonna be my guide. And then I put another one over here. Once I get it up there, I don't have to try to hold it and screw it at the same time. Now I'm using 3-inch deck screws.
You said 3-inch deck screws?
Yeah, because this is an inch and a half. So at least now you know you're an inch and a half deep with the screw.
Okay.
There we go. That is done. And you can take this out. That's it. Okay, so I measured and the distance is 8 inches every 2x4. So 8 inches and then a 2x4, then another 8 inches, a 2x4, another 8 inches. And the way that I cut these was I used my saw, but once your blade hits that mark where you gotta measure, you're gonna have a gap in the bottom. So after I cut all my slots, I use my skill saw, and then I finish edging the sides, and then with my Dremel, I actually cut it straight, which this works awesome. And you don't have to go all the way down. You can basically just get about a 1/4 inch in, and then hit it with your hammer slowly, and then it'll come right off.
Okay, so we thought, or I thought we could do clear just so this way you could see, but I'm struggling to see right now, so it's too hot here. That's gonna be a no. Let me see if you can. I mean, it helps some, but I'm covering my eyes right now. So I guess we gotta go tinted.
Yep.
Bummer. The only reason I was skeptical on the tinted one is just because all of our windows that we use for natural sunlight inside the house, it's gonna make it darker inside. But we don't have a choice. It's too hot here. So we're adding a privacy wall here just because that's our neighbor's fencing and it's a little close. And right now we're trying to decide if we should do a tinted cover, which that's what this is tinted. But they also sell a solid, so we're trying to figure out. This is the just the tinted one. Let me see. So you can still see through it. But they also have a solid, so we're trying to figure out which one to go with. Okay, so this is the original color, the Cordova Brown by Bear. And remember, originally I wanted black. Manny said no, and now here he goes. So this is the new color over here, which he did 2 different stain colors together. I'm going to show you the cans. So he mixed in 1 can of Valspar. I'm going to type the color because I don't remember. Okay, 1 can of Dark Night from Valspar. And then to 2 of these by Bear Cordova Brown. So that's what he's using. So 2 of these, 1 of these. And you get this color, which I don't know if you can pick up on camera. This is a lot darker than over here. You can see more of the brown. So he hasn't touched up this part yet. I like it a lot. And then we did the privacy screen here just because our neighbors are right there and it's pretty close. And then this just happened. He put a piece of the plastic over here and look what it did to our grass. He's always watching through the window. So Manny just added in lights because y'all know he likes to be extra too. So he put a light post. Is this a light? No, what kind of lights are these?
Those are LED lights. Okay,
so he put an LED light on each post. So this way the yard over here isn't so dark when Enzo's coming out, because sometimes, you know, Enzo's dark. He's dark gray, almost black. So it's really hard to see him at night out here. So now with the lights it'll be a little easier. Looks good. Quickly realized that we did not specify the materials that we were using for the roof. So this is what we used here. It's $26.97 a panel. We decided to go with the full coverage. You also have the options to have this in clear, like I showed you guys in the video, or you could do it tinted. Has different colors. We did the Castle Gray, especially up top. It kind of almost looks black. So this is what we used for the roof. For the specific screws that Manny was using to fasten the roof to the actual pergola, this is what we used. You can find these at Home Depot. I'm sure Lowe's has something very similar, but Home Depot is closer to us, so that's where we got these. So after Hurricane Hannah just recently came through Southeast Texas, we got a lot of rain from it. And we quickly realized that our roof was leaking, the patio roof. So this is what Manny used to seal any cracks or leaks that we had, and so far, so good. We haven't had any more issues. Okay, those are those pieces he spray painted here. Just attaching them here. This side we didn't do it because obviously we don't have the same roof pitch, but this awning gives a cover, so it works out perfect. no water comes in. But there she is. It's a little scary up here.